This is Abbasi here. Today we will discuss the very important topic, that is the second type of chemical bonding, that is covalent bonding for general science for the examination, CSS examination. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. These are the learning objectives of today's topic. That initially we will discuss the what is definition of the covalent bond, then we will discuss types of covalent bond along with their examples, different examples, and at the end we will discuss the properties of covalent bond, as we have discussed the chemical properties, physical properties of the ionic bond in our last class. So let's look at to discuss the covalent bond definition. A covalent bond is a chemical link between two atoms in which electrons are shared between them. In this covalent bond we share, basically there is a sharing of electron takes place, and then when they share the electrons, what was the main reason of the chemical bonding, as I have discussed in the last lecture, that they have to complete their octet or duplet, 8 electrons in the valence shell or 2 electrons in the valence shell. So they basically here today we will discuss covalent bonding, in which they share the electrons. A covalent bond is a chemical bond in that involves the sharing of the electron pairs between the atoms. These electron pairs are known as the shared pair of, or bonding pairs, we can say that. They are involved in the chemical bonding. Now let's look at the types of the covalent bond. Based on the sharing, there are sharing of electrons, there are 3 types of the covalent bond. One is single covalent bond, second one is double covalent bond, and last one is the triple covalent bond. So now we are discussing the first type, that is single covalent bond. In single covalent bond, there is a mutual sharing of the one pair or one electron by the each atom or element. Look at the definition. A covalent bond which is formed by the mutual sharing of one electron pair is called single covalent bond. Or you can say that every atom, if there are 2 atoms or elements, they will share one electron. Then what will happen at the end? There will be one pair, right? It is denoted, that is the reason it is denoted by the single line. Means look at here, one electron from this side, one electron from this side. So this will be single covalent bond. In chemistry, single covalent bond is a chemical bond between 2 atoms involving 2 valence electrons, as I have right now told you. That is, the atoms share one pair of electron where the bond form. Now look at the example, it will be very much clear. Now example is hydrogen molecule. This is the hydrogen H2 molecule, and how they share the one electron. As we know that there is one valence electron in the hydrogen, so this is the one of the hydrogen, one electron of hydrogen and one electron of another hydrogen. So they will share this one electron. What will be the result? Now these are the 2 electrons for this hydrogen, and now these are also the 2 electron for this hydrogen. So in this way they share, and then what will be the result? That they will complete their octet or duplet. So this will be written as in this way: hydrogen single covalent bond, because there is a sharing of one electron by each atom. So this is called the single covalent bond. Now there is another type which is called double covalent bond. In double covalent bond, there will be sharing of 2 electrons by the each atom. In a covalent bond which is formed by the mutual sharing of 2 valence electrons is called double covalent bond, and it is denoted by double lines. Look at here, it is denoted by double lines, like in this way. One electron from here, one electron from here. So 2 electrons are shared by the each atom. So this is the reason it is called the double covalent bond. Look at the example. Example is oxygen molecule O2. 1 oxygen, 2 oxygen. There are 6 electrons in the outermost shell of the oxygen. 1 2 3 4 5 6. 6 electrons in this hydrogen atom also. 1 2 3 4 5 6. So they will share in this way. Now look at here, octet completed. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. Octet of this hydrogen is completed by sharing the 2 electrons, and similarly the octet of this hydrogen is also completed by sharing the 2 electrons. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. That is the reason it is denoted by double lines in this way. O2 molecule. Then the last one is the triple covalent bond. Triple covalent bond is formed by the mutual sharing of 3 electrons, and then what will happen, the atoms will complete their octet and duplate. Main reason for the chemical bonding is this one, and then they will become inert, noble, and unreactive and independent, as in the previous lecture we have discussed, and it is denoted by the triple lines 1 2 3. Now look at the example. N2 molecule, nitrogen. One nitrogen have 5 valence electrons, and these diagrams are called as the dot and cross diagrams. Dot and cross. Dot and cross means you have to draw this diagram, and you have to write you have to draw the elements of one atom as a dot, like in this way I have drawn this diagram of O2 molecule. So one oxygen is having dot and one oxygen is having cross electrons represented by dot and cross. This is called the dot and cross diagram. Now for the nitrogen N2, valence electrons are 5. 1 2 3 4 and 5, and in this way also 5. 1 2 3 4 and 5. Now look at the sharing. They are sharing 3 electrons, so 3 plus 3 6 and plus 2 8. Its octet is completed. Now what about this another molecule, another atom of nitrogen, sorry. 1 2 3 4 5 6 and 2. These are the 2 other electrons. So octet of this nitrogen and octet of this nitrogen is completed, and this is called triple covalent bond, means atoms share 3 electrons, and that is the reason it is denoted by 3 lines. Single covalent bond is denoted by single line because there is a sharing of 1 electron by each atom, or 1 pair of electron. Double covalent is denoted by double lines, means there is a sharing of 2 electrons. Triple covalent bond is denoted by the triple lines, means there is a sharing of 3 electrons, or you can say that 3 pairs of electrons. Now these are the other examples, like hydrogen I have discussed. Then this is this is the covalent bonding, and this is the molecule of the water, and then this is the hydrogen fluoride HF, single covalent bond. 1 electron is being shared. This is chlorine 1 electron is shared. This is called single covalent bond. And the nitrogen molecule, which we have discussed already, triple covalent bond. And this is the CH4. This is called CH4 is called methane. In methane there is a single covalent bond, 4 single covalent bond, and this is oxygen, which we have discussed, double covalent bond. Nitrogen, triple covalent bond. These are the examples of single covalent bond, double covalent bond, and triple covalent bond. Methane, CH4, single covalent bond, and this ethane is also the example of the single covalent bond. CO2 is the example of the, like in this way we can draw this. CO2 is the example of double covalent bond. There is a sharing of 2 electrons. Now one of the very important topic which we are right now discussing, the properties of the covalent compounds. In our last lecture we have discussed the properties of the ionic compounds. Now we are discussing the properties of covalent compounds, which are entirely opposite to one another. Properties of covalent compounds and then reason for that. Number one property is they are often liquids or gases at room temperature, but ionic compounds are always solids at room temperature. These substances are made by the simple molecules and they are joined by the covalent bonds. That is the reason that they are in gases and liquids. Like the example of liquid is that H2O, example of gases is that hydrogen gas, which we have discussed in single covalent bond, oxygen in double covalent bond, nitrogen in triple covalent bond, CO2 in double covalent bond. These are different gases. Number two is that they have low melting points and boiling points. However, when we discuss the ionic compounds, they have high melting point and high boiling point. What is the reason? Intermolecular force of attraction between atoms is very weak. The intermolecular attraction between water, hydrogen and oxygen, nitrogen, CO2, that is very weak. But when we compare it with the ionic compounds, there is a electrostatic force of attraction between opposite charge, positive and negative. That was the reason that they have high melting point and high boiling point. Number three is that they are soluble in organic solvents such as ethanol and methyl benzene, but that ionic compounds were soluble in inorganic compounds, like dissolve like the compounds which are organic in nature, they are dissolved in organic solvents, and inorganic solvents are dissolved in inorganic solvents. This is the like dissolve like theory. Covalent molecular substance dissolve in non-polar covalent solvents. In this way, means these are all are the organic compounds and they are dissolved in the organic compound. Now the fourth property is that they do not conduct electricity at all, heat and electricity. As ionic compounds, they conduct heat and electricity, but they do not, because there are no free ions, there are no ions or free ions present in it. There are no free electrons or free ions present in it. That is the reason they are not conducting the heat and electricity. Now one by one I am showing you the diagram. This is the diagram for that liquids and gases at room temperature. Water is liquid, methane is a gas, CO2 is a gas. These are different gases. Then they have low melting point and boiling point. Look at here, hydrogen minus 259, nitrogen minus 210, minus 250, minus 195. These are having, all are having low melting and low boiling points. Then they are soluble in organic solvents but insoluble in water. Look at here, they are, or these compounds may dissolve in this diagram, but they are not dissolved in water. Like look at here, oil, it is not dissolved, it is insoluble in water. Now look at this one, hexane is an organic compound having covalent characteristic. It is insoluble in water. Now they do not conduct electricity, as I told you that they have no free ions. That is the reason they will not conduct electricity like ethanol. Last one, this is also related to this one. Thank you. I hope you understood this topic, which is chemical bonding, which is one of second type, which is covalent bond, which is very important. And I hope you understood this topic. And upcoming lecture we will discuss the some new topics which we have identified through item analysis. So we will discuss also these topics in upcoming videos. Thank you. Allah Hafiz.